It's C-Doc again.
Well, Tuesday. Yeah, friends. Tuesday. We said we were going to be here, and we're here. Taking it Long Island style tonight. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, C-Doc. And, yes, we got some... Oh,
What in the hell?
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hey!
I guess I'll introduce you later. Okay. Yeah.
What in the hell is happening?
I don't know.
Oh my god! I'll leave. Bye.
You didn't have to leave. Okay. All right. What's up, Dre Mays? Good to see you. Yeah, we have got some Long Island in the house tonight. Yeah, I said that already. All right. Well, anyway, Jennifer, I guess, having some slight technical issues. We'll catch up with her in a minute. Ultramag is off tonight, so shout out to Ultramag. Yep, here we go. Yep, seriously fine in the building. Nothing can stop us. Just got done playing the album on cassette. Word. I brought my CD along, so we will we will be talking and see what's what. All right. Also joining us tonight, the man behind Hip Hop Gods, the president of Rap Station. He's up on the northwest side. I was gonna do the hand thing, but northwest, right? And ladies and gentlemen, Flatline.
Oh, wow! Here we are.
Yo, man, it's already an interesting show. So,
where's Jennifer?
Having technical difficulties. Yeah, I guess internet problems. So
yeah, well, it happens to the best of us.
It does. So, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm pretty good. I like that shirt.
Yeah.
Good, man.
Well,
I think you wore it once before, but man, that is just.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. My wife kindly pointed out to me that the shirt that I had on was the one I wore on last week's show. She goes, you wore that last week, right? I'm like, are you saying I should change it? And she goes, I'm just telling you wore it on last week's show. I'm like, yeah I'll go change it. So, yeah. Yep.
Man, oh man.
So, figured Strong Island.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Dropping big beats.
Perfect.
Yes. Also joining us tonight, he is a new addition to the show. He is a dog. Ladies and gentlemen, Stewie P in the place to be. Yeah.
He is a dog.
Yeah. Last I checked. So.
Yep. He sure is.
Yep.
There he is.
Man.
There he
in
is.
all his glory.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Well, at least you're getting some air tonight, Jennifer. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not even just.
All right.
Business as usual. Carry on.
Yeah, gotcha. Flatline. Is there a new episode of Hip Hop Gods this evening?
Boy, is there ever.
Uh-oh.
I tell you what.
I'm going to run it down real quick, and then we'll bring our guest on.
Yeah. Let me run it down. Yes, new music from Damage from Yang Fu Front.
Woo!
Maestro
Ooh.
Fresh West. New MC Light featuring Salt, Big Daddy Kane, and Raheem Devon. New M. Dot featuring Big Shug. Murderers Row, which is comprised of Outer Space, King Size, Reef, The Lost Cause, and the Snow Goons. New single by Count Fifth featuring Chino XL, Copyright, and DJ Hops. And DZ featuring Corrupt and Planet Asia.
Top notch.
Sounds like it.
It's a lot.
Have you ever had just like an okay show? I don't think so. You're just always stacked to the max with the hits.
Got quite a few hits.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. I mean, I do my best to showcase all that new music.
Hey, man, you represent to the fullest, so word up.
Thanks.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So tonight, as far as I know, and maybe he can correct this for us, our guest was part of a group that, according to friend of the show, Chuck D, they were the first Long Island group signed to a major label record contract. So we'll have to see if that is true. Their debut album, there it is again, came out on Arista Records. And when was this? 89, I believe. Yes.
89.
Yep. 89, Seriously Fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Lee from Seriously Fine.
Yes,
Hello,
indeed.
hello, everyone.
Welcome.
How are you?
Hello.
Can't complain. Can't complain. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, the other two, they might be having some technical difficulties, so
Okay. We'll take what we can get. It's a technical difficulty kind of night.
okay.
Right?
Sure.
It started out that way.
Yeah. So we'll get it figured out. So yes, I was curious, to the best of your knowledge, were you guys the first Long Island group to get like a not a record contract, but a major label record contract?
Yeah, that's the history. That's probably very close to the truth.
Okay.
Very close.
I figured if anyone would, I figured if anyone that would know, Chuck D would know. So
Yeah, Chuck. Yeah, he was. Chuck was very instrumental in a lot of things that were going on Long Island, actually, musically.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was making demos. They were making like it was BAU. That's where it all started. All of these groups started. Every neighborhood had a couple of rap groups that they put together. They had shows, we had performances, and we all practiced out of 510 on Franklin Avenue,
right.
South Franklin, in Hempstead, and that's where Spectrum City. That's the home of Spectrum City, the home of Chuck D. And everybody, all the groups, they used to practice there, and we used to battle each other. So, and BAU was the radio station that programmed us, that put us on the map collegiately at Adelphi University. That's where they were stationed. Yes. And we used to have interviews there. It was a beautiful time.
Yeah. Dope stuff. I can't remember you. Please remind me, what was the name of your group?
Well, at first we started out as the Choice 5 MCs.
The Choice 5 MCs. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Before Seriously Fine, there were 5 MCs.
Right.
And that's when, like I said, I had nothing. I didn't want anything. I was rhyming. We all had, in the 1980s, we had little crews, like this disco, this crew. And I just stopped rhyming. I was just fresh out of high school. I wasn't thinking about getting on a microphone. It was a thing of the past. I thought it was behind me. And then I was at a friend's house and I was he listened to BAU. And he said, those guys are from Uniondale. And I was hanging out, just like I said, 19, fresh out of high school. And he said, those guys are from Uniondale. I said, you sound real nice. And it was a tape. It was recorded. It sounded like a record to me. And I said, wow, those guys sound good. But I didn't pay it any mind because I wasn't into it myself personally. I just told myself, I don't want to rhyme no more. That's it. It was a high school thing. It was a junior high school thing. So what happened was there was a guy that I was hanging out with. We were just running the street, just doing the after high school thing that, young guys do from New York, shop, go to parties. And he said, there's a guy named Sirius that's looking for you. He said, I said, looking for me for what? Sirius had a rap group. Like I said, the Choice 5 MCs.
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of them.
Okay.
They needed another member. This is what I was told by Sirius. So eventually Sirius caught up to me. Now, there's another back into that story as well. Sirius, they had already established themselves, you know, as a major battle performance 5 MC group. You know, they were very known and very, like I said, 5'10", and I didn't know about them at the time.
Okay.
And Sirius could tell you a better story than I can, because he was the one that actually started the group.
Right.
It was Sirius. It was other 4 MCs besides Sirius: Kine, Woody D, J Divine, and there was a 4th member. They kept replacing the 4th member, something like how the Temps did. They kept replacing the 4th member, so they had some issues there. So when they found me in 1984, right? So Sirius walked up to my end of, because I lived in Hempstead, like the borderline of Uniondale.
Yeah.
But I went to school with those guys. So when he caught up to me and he told me his idea, and I sat there and I listened to it, and we wound up talking for, mind you, I was against it. I said, you know what, I don't want anything to do with it. It's not me. There's no future in it. But the more I began to talk to Sirius on the corner of Searing, we stood there until daybreak, from 11 o'clock at night till the time that we saw people going to work around 7:30 in the morning. Wow. That long. We were talking about, because I said, if I'm going to get involved, it has to be something serious. It has to be organized. And Sirius already has some organization, a lot of organization, and they were already doing their thing on BAU. They just needed a 4th member.
Yeah. Long
story short, the 4th member became me. They called me the Choice Rapper Ski. That was we had names back then.
Yeah,
Sirius, K Fine, J Divine, Woody D, who became Woody Rock. That was that made a compilation album with Uptown Records.
Yeah.
Uptown Kicking It. Okay.
Yeah, Uptown Kicking It, right.
And Andre Harrell was he spearheaded that project, along with various other groups that was on that compilation album. But that was later. But it was Woody D, J Divine, and I became the 4th member of the group because I liked what Sirius was talking about. And I said, you know what? We envisioned something. We envisioned ourselves on the stage, what we would say, what we would do, how we would dress, how we would present ourselves as artists then. And at 19 years old. So I said, wow, that sounds interesting. So 84, I shook hands. We started to practice. And that's when I started to get more familiar with Chuck, met all the guys, Flavor Flav, everybody. And then there were battles, of course. There were other MCs that was in the neighborhood. Townhouse 3, Sugar Bear, his crew. And it was many of them. Pep, it was just, we used to practice out of 510. And WBAU was the station that we used to have interviews. They used to promote us, promote shows, battles, and everything that you could think of that pertained to what we did.
Oh, so real quick, K Fine is in the house. So
there it is.
Yep.
K Fine is here. Oh.
Yep.
Bring him in.
There he is.
No. It's supposed to be. Can y'all hear me?
I hear you. I see you too.
I'm on it now. Can you hear me?
I see you, yes.
Yeah. Well,
and I hear you.
Maybe.
Fine. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Beautiful.
I can barely hear you guys.
Oh, you might have to go out and come back in.
I can't hear you.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, y'all can hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you fine.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Hey, what's going on, G-Doc?
How are you, sir?
Okay, I'm good.
I think there's a little bit of a lag. That's all.
Yeah, there's a delay. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was a little bit worried. So what's going on? What's the deal?
We're Lee was just telling stories, man. We're finding out the beginning of the group. So, the early days, the origins. Yeah.
The early days. Before Seriously Fine, there were you and the rest of the guys, Choice 5 MCs, right?
Oh yeah, we was the Choice 5. We went down the 510. You know, we heard that Spectrum City was making music for some of the local rap groups. So we went down there and we took a shot. And we was the Choice 5 back then. We was like one of the main headliners for them. We blew up. That was in the early 80s.
Right. I was just gonna. I wanted to look. Give me 1 second, because I think I had. Kick It Live. You guys remember that song?
Well, that was one of the tracks.
Yeah.
No, I vaguely remember those. I got one of my friends. I got all of the tracks from them and other groups. Yeah, but I very vaguely remember that.
Okay. Yeah, that was one Mr. Bill sent over. So, yep. Lee,
Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill?
Yeah. Yeah, Bill Stephanie.
Bill Stephanie, that's the guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was Hank Shockley, KG, Bill Stephanie.
Yep.
So what they would do is they would play. They had a news show at Delphi University because they was going to school. Chuck and them was going to school there, and
Right.
they would play the tapes that we would make over the air there, and we didn't realize that it went all the way from here all the way up to the South Bronx. So it was as far as I knew. I just thought it was just like locally in Long Island, but we was known all through the boroughs. So we go do shows back then. Them they go do the shows and they bring us. This was like it's a little bit before Lee.
Yes,
And
exactly.
Flavor Flav was a comedy relief. He was up on stage doing stuff. Yeah, but they was international. We went all over the place. We went doing shows from here all the way up to Queens, and we didn't realize that we was known. That we had a huge following. We didn't know that.
Wow.
Back then.
Yeah. Wow. That's dope.
Yeah, so that's how like when we met Jam Master Jay, we was kind of like it's Jam Master Jay of Run DMC, and he had all of our tapes in his glove box.
Wow.
It was amazing to me. Meanwhile, we was in awe of him, and he was basically in awe of us because he knew our lyrics.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's dope.
What up, Lee?
What's going on, Fine? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes, sir.
Wait, we have another special guest. He's getting situated, so I think he's there.
Oh, the Serious C.
Not quite.
It must be the bear. Must be the bear man then.
Oh wait, yeah, okay. I think Sirius is coming in now.
Sirius is coming in now.
Wait, yes. So in the meantime, while we wait for Sirius, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chuck D.
Damn.
Yeah.
My heroes.
Good to see you.
I was watching you on the screen, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I had to get on," and I was like, "Man, now I got to watch it through, of course, our cameras and the phones and all." I can't even do it. Oh, now I can hear it great. What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
What's going on? How you feeling? Good to see you, Chuck.
And we have Sirius
Hey,
here.
fine.
What up, boy?
Serious?
What's good with you? Oh man! Wow!
Everybody's in the house.
Wow!
Serious.
What's good, brother? What's good with y'all? Yeah, I'm a little laid up right now, but we in effect. What's good with you? What's good with your brothers? What's good with you both, man?
What's going on?
Look at it.
Good to see you.
Absolutely.
this is
Good to be
My
seen.
heroes.
Good to be seen. Well, let's
Tell him, Chuck.
let's talk about, historically speaking, how you guys with Keith and like really, to me at the time was like the catapult as far as DJing in Nassau County and Suffolk too. Y'all really kind of revolutionized the whole college thing, and that was like a foundation for me to even get to have the knowledge of who you guys were at the time. You know what I'm saying? And as far as establishing the 5'10" to be like the absolute, the Oz. You know what I mean? It's like the Wizard of Oz was to be in 5'10". We wanted to come see the wizard. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I had it's funny because I originally we go back to the 70s when the cruise was prominent, and when it got to like I say 81, 82, it was time to do something different, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the groups, fell off and people stopped doing it, and then the MC and everybody wanted to wanted to have a career as far as being MCs.
Mhm.
This is 81, 82 for us. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't
Real.
guaranteed. It wasn't guaranteed. The fact that I'm looking at y'all three on my screen right now is so heartwarming because y'all the first heroes. It was Townhouse, of course, with T.A. Jawel, may rest in peace.
Absolutely.
And Pep, and the Flavor came out there, but y'all was that next wave, and the fact that when we was able to assemble people together and the choice 5 MCs, y'all were the first ones out of Long Island. And I was so happy for y'all when Jam Master Jay was just coming around and seeing the talent base. And we wanted to be like a minor league type of system anyway. And I was so happy when he saw that he could probably take what we were doing to the next level by finding y'all. I mean, the first one was out of the box was y'all could probably. I don't let me talk, man, because Woody Rock was the first one out of the box for y'all, and he had his thing on Andre Harrell's Uptown, and then at the same time that Jay was looking at. But I know y'all got the real story and all. But I mean, for years, I gotta tell you a proud moment. We were promoting things that were just like unheard of or unseen. Like, remember the Rap Olympics?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yes.
It's almost this year be what, 40 years.
40 years since the Rap Olympics, Long
Absolutely.
Island versus Queens.
Roosevelt Island.
Long Island versus New York.
Yeah, Long Island versus New York.
It was
And-
Bronx, Brooklyn, and all the boroughs.
Right? In Queens. And
Brooklyn.
and Brooklyn. And no, it was inside Queens though.
It was in Queens.
Inside Queens. And I remember very clearly, very Long Island City. I remember very clearly when it was your turn, it was these 5 MCs with the fur hats came in, y'all was uniform, and it was never a prouder moment in my life to see y'all march up there and just roast shit. And I was like, that was probably the most proudest moment of my life.
Wow.
Saying that Strong Island was a force to be reckoned with,
Yeah.
And,
I was as well, for sure. I was as well, man. That's like, that's a moment that I'll take with me to the hereafter. You feel me? That's
no question. So don't let me talk. Don't let me talk. Like, ladies and gentlemen, and what's up, Flatline? What's up, Jenny? What's up, Ultra? What up, C-Dot? These is the incredible, seriously fine, the Choice 5 MCs. The story, a couple of weeks ago, we were saying, people talk about the story out of Long Island and all, and they oversee and they overstep seriously fine. A couple of weeks ago on my radio show, I was just speaking truth to that. I'm like, listen, don't get it twisted. This is where it all starts. And y'all can tell that story. I'll just be here. I might zone off of that, watch it on the big screen, but I love y'all, man. And see the 3 of y'all together, really seriously touches my heart, man.
Appreciate you. Love you.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it, man. I mean, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been heard. Yeah, you made it happen. You definitely, you the catalyst, bro. I mean, like I said, you were Oz. You heard the Wizard of Oz, but you the Chuck of Oz. You the definitely Oz for sure.
It was all of us, man. It was all of us.
Yeah.
We were a machine, man. We were a machine of development and service. That's all. We didn't make your talent. We just wanted to be able to enhance your talent like coaches. A lot of times with like after y'all was leaders and Buster and Charlie Brown and Dinko and all them, and they as well as Johnny Juice. You know, of course, Juice is part of y'all. You know, point to y'all as being, you know, that bedrock that set off. And also, what's his name? I remember T from Mantronics also came from Uniondale too.
Absolutely, he lived there. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Fresh
And also
and
you remember definitely Sirius that, you know, MC Avenue paved the roads in the Uniondale, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. In a way,
Wow.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. That's my dude, man. God bless the dead, man. Absolutely.
He was an exciting rapper.
Yes.
Yo, what's funny is when we reflect, and it's funny because I remember when we first came up to record, and Keith was like, "Y'all from Uniondale?" So yeah, he's kind of like snubbing us, like, yeah, he's snubbing us, you know. Yeah, well, y'all got like 8 people. Where's the 5 at? So he gave us the business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we went in there
as
first,
as he should.
So when we went and laid the vocals, and we did that real quick because we practiced so hard. I think I credit my bros for practicing, man, and just following my lead and my intense, like, wanting to be good. And they just, they gave me they let me lead, man. And they was like, yo, let's practice, man. We can only be as good as we practice. So we worked so hard. And I remember after we did the vocals, I got a phone call from you, Flav, and Keith, and at my parents' house, and they, I spoke to you. It's like, yo, is this serious? I said, yeah, this is serious. Yo, man, this is Chuck, man. We were just listening to you guys, man, and y'all sound like a crazy version of the Crash Crew. You know what I'm saying? I remember that conversation like it was yesterday. And it touched my heart. And then I want to say maybe a week or two later, y'all aired it. And man, when it came on the radio, man, for the first time, we got a rap. We was in the middle of the street jumping on each other, man, like we won the lotto, man. It was a great time, man. 19 years old, not knowing what we were going to do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had their little jobs at the time, making $33.30, you know what I mean, minimum wage.
Yeah.
And life began for us at that point, man. And it was and the thing about it, like I like to mention too, hip hop at that time, for me at least, and I guess I could say for Lee and Fine, it kept us safe. What does that mean? It kept us safe. It was something that we wanted to protect, that we protected, and it's something that kept us disciplined and away from the street life. You know what I'm saying? Kept us away from dealing the drugs, kept us away from breaking into houses. It was optional then, of course, but it kept us away from all that. And hip hop, hip hop saved me, and it saved us. And that's why we're able to talk to you some 40 years later still. You know what I'm saying?
Kept us busy.
And it's a blessing. Absolutely, it's been a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all were totally, definitely different. As we evaluated, went through tapes and tapes and tapes. I was the guy that had to write it down. Chuck called him, like, okay, I think I'm a call, and then it was like kind of crazy because you call in somebody's crib, you got to bypass their moms. And what is this about? It's like, it's not really a record, but, we trying to like display, some talents here. It was like, we was almost like the ongoing local, but a little bit further talent show that kept going on.
I mean, real talk. That not to intercut you, but I remember the phone call because it was on a Friday afternoon. Real talk. It was springtime, and it was crazy because, like I said, it was a Friday. You didn't interrupt anything. It wasn't like you called in the middle of the night or anything. It was crazy. That phone call, I remember like it was yesterday. That's a fact. I'm sorry, Lee. Go ahead.
Okay. And I was over a friend's house, as I was telling the gentleman earlier. I was over a friend's house, Joe Thomas, and he said, "Yo, this group is from Uniondale. This is when, I was just ripping and running the street in '83, going into '84." And he said, "This group is from Uniondale, Detroit's 5." And all I heard was, and I heard it was it was it Freeze to the Rhythm or was it
Freeze
We
to
got
the
a
Rhythm.
rap.
we got
gotta rap.
We got a rap down
Yeah,
and
we
blow
gotta
your
rap.
oh,
mind.
yes. And I said, that sounds like a record. I said, that
True.
sounds like a record. So, and it was so together and it was organized. And I said, wow. I said, that's how they're doing it? I had no idea about BAU until this man, Sirius Cleveland Delaney, he started looking for me. And I didn't want anything to do with music, with rap anyway.
When we
I was
saw
just
you rap
ripping it-
at the high school, and we was like, we gotta get that brother's bad. We gotta
Yeah.
who that?
Can I cut this off for a second? Because
Go ahead.
when Lee said he was at a friend's house, I'm thinking it had to be one of his 150 girls.
Yeah, that's funny. Stop that.
Yeah, sort of,
Stop it.
kinda. Yeah,
Stop it.
sort of,
And-
kinda.
And I did, and the reason why Sirius said he was looking for me because I did. Matter of fact, I was hanging out with Darryl Higgins, and I was at his house, and he said,
TDA.
"Lee, I need an MC for the night at Uniondale High School." And me, I was like, "Okay." I said, "You know what? I'll MC." And guess what? We packed the equipment in his car, went to the high school, and then I brung him in. 1 for the ace, 2 for the deuce. Higgy hig, if you're ready, cut it up and get loose. And that was it.
And I seen that, Chuck, and I seen him do that, right? Okay, I didn't know
I did
Lee.
the whole party
didn't-
by myself.
I didn't know Lee. We didn't grow up together. We didn't know each other. I just remembered him doing that, and it stayed in my head. We had a conflict with a couple of the members of the group, and Fine was like, "Well, we got to find somebody else." I said, "Yo, I got somebody in mind." So I had to do my Smokey Robinson bit, and go search this brother out in his neighborhood, and asked a friend of his to relay the message. I stepped to him, and it's like 4 or 5 brothers looking at me crazy in another part of the neighborhood. I said, "Yo, man, my name is Sirius to the Choice 5. I know you hang around with a brother that's slim with an afro, man. I'm looking for him, and I'm trying to see if he would want to come to the studio with us, man, and record. Here's my number." And that's how we hooked up. We was 19 at the time. You dig? And Lee came through, man, and we started recording, man. And he was an asset beyond asset for me and Fine because he had the same love of the game as I did, and we historically watched the Temptation tapes. We historically sat down and we mimicked the Temptation tapes. We took Charlie Atkinson's steps and we tried to mimic him as close as we could, but he had the same energy and the zest to want to do choreography as I did. So that was a major, you know what I mean? He was a handsome brother for the chicks, and it worked that way too. But it was we had a great love of the historic Temptations and the Charlie Atkins, their whole vibe, and we tried to mimic them as best we could. And from
love
there,
for the
man,
craft.
it was just love, man. It was just we set the world on fire from there. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry.
Another thing about the Choice 5 that was very different and unique is that Sirius always opened up with a juxtaposition style that nobody ever heard before. It was precise, deep, direct, and could go anywhere. But also, Lee covering the middle, the original chase with Woody, and who's the other MC with y'all? Right with Woody.
Divine. It was Divine. It was
Divine and Woody.
Jay Divine.
Jay Divine, definitely. But the ankle leg always reminded me taking it to the end zone with K5.
Yeah, absolutely.
K5 would just be the fight. You guys reminded me of a relay team.
Yeah.
Right.
Fine was the anchor. He would just take it to the hole.
That's a fact.
And just he single-handedly just like took over the last. See, because remember the Rap Olympics going back then, it was a rap off.
Right.
It was a process of elimination. The crowd, they were the judge, and they screamed the loudest for us, and they screamed the loudest for us as the last. But guess what? This brother right here, K Fine, my God, he was something different.
All right, thank you very much.
I still got a G on him that he out rap anybody right now. That's a
I got
fact.
stuff right now. I'm ready to go, but that's another story. Talk about that later.
Yeah.
But see, and what I'm saying is, from a lyrical standpoint, Fine always had a way of lyrically spitting something way before, like this. Right now, if he came out with a record, he would sound like he belongs there. But
Right.
40 years ago, he never sounded like anything that was out, and I
You guys
credit him
sounded
for
like
that.
you guys sounded like he was off the planet. It was totally
Right.
some off the planet shit. And so
Right.
I get into some questions like, like
Okay.
Woody leaves. Well, I remember hearing it at that time because, like I said, things were sniffing around, and I know that all of a sudden I get this Uptown's Kicking It tape and Woody's on it. What was your thoughts at that time? And I remember around the same time, Jay always came up to BAU, but
Well,
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know when that connect happened.
The deal with that was, Jay was going to put us on that, and we said no, we didn't want it. We wanted to go. We wanted our own album. We wasn't smart enough to really at that point in time. We knew how good we were, and so we didn't feel as though that we needed to be on an album with other people. So we said, since Woody had his little problems, we said give that to Woody.
So yeah, but we were heartbroken when Woody left. Inside of my room, Woody came to us and said, "You know what?" And we was like, "Wait a minute, hold on." We looked at each other, and we tried our hardest to get another member, to get 2 more members, but we couldn't find that. And maybe we weren't patient enough, but as we were young and thirsty, and we wanted it then. When you young, you hungry, and we had we had that fire, that energy. So we said, you know what? It was only left up to 3 people, Sirius, Lee, Fine. So we blended the names together. We had no choice.
It had to be hard because the way that y'all had put the squad together, you had to be a super MC to get in there. And so to replace them with a super MC to make it fit, you're not really going to find that at that particular time because y'all was off the charts. Y'all was like, what the hell, And so I can understand that.
But we tried. We tried though.
listen. Woody comes to me, right? I'm gonna give you the story real quick. Woody comes to me and goes, "Yo, bro, I gotta leave the crew." I said, "Why?" He said, "Yo, man, D, this girl at the time, she pregnant, and I ain't got no bread and da. So I calls Jay and I said, "Yo, Jay, man, Woody gonna leave the crew?" He said, "What?" So yeah, you talking about leaving. Now understand me, we had recorded in Chungking already. You know what I'm saying?
All 5 of y'all. All five of
us recorded in Chungking. We had a joint on the Maxwell Go call. And it goes like this. You know what I'm saying? And Kill the Noise. You know what I'm saying? No, pardon me, that was Serious Defined. And it goes like this was the one of the main features. But I said all that to say this. I went to Jay with it and I said, "Yo, Jay, he leaving the crew. His girl is pregnant. He needs some money." So he came. Jay said, "Where's he at?" I said, "He's at his pop's house in Freeport." So we go. I said, "Yo, man." Jay said, "Come on, let's go get him." He said, "What you want to do, C?" I said, "Yo, man." I said, if you're going to help him, help him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I feel bad, that he want to leave us. He said, "But what you want to do, C?" Now I had a choice to make. I could have been on some, "Yo, man, this you can't, on some mafia type vibes. Nah, we ain't helping him. If he want to go leave the crew, let him walk in." Nah, I wasn't like that. I went, waited for Jay to come. Jay picked me up. We went to Freeport and we talked to him. He said, Jay said, "Yo, man, my man's starting a label and called Uptown for MCA, Andre Harrell." And he wrote down the number. He said, "Go ahead, call him and tell him I sent you." He said, and that's how Woody got on Uptown. So I'm sitting in the seat with Jay when he says that, and I looked at Jay. I said, "Yo, well, we can't be on that. You crazy?" He said, "Yo, I want y'all to be on Def Jam." I said, "All right, man." I had to take the L, and what I mean by the L, Chuck, he is now known as the first person from our neighborhood to make wax instead of us. Right. You know what I'm saying? But people don't. Right. But people don't know the story behind it. Yeah. I could have Elvis the whole thing because it was on me. You know what I'm saying? but that's my bro.
MCT and Mantronics is from Uniondale, so he don't have that. You know,
Right.
Then
Absolutely.
y'all, and then,
Absolutely.
then y'all, then Woody, but that's something. So Jay was something else, man. But also at the same time, there's a lot of people that came through you, Sirius, that you mentored, and you mentored all the leads of New School guys. They looked up and kind of like they looked up to y'all like it was the Holy Grail. So that's
a funny
important too.
That's a funny story because every time we practiced at this little bus booth in the neighborhood, because we couldn't practice at nobody's house. And it's funny because it takes me back, God bless the dead, to my dad, who worked for the phone company at the time, and he worked night shifts. And as we practicing in this little bus stop, my pops would pull up in the whip at the light and look at us and shake his head like, "Yo, what the hell are they doing?" We're like, "What the hell are they doing? They just bums. You can't make no money scratching records." That's what we used to say in the crib. You can't make no damn money scratching records. Them brothers, them boys is crazy. Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah.
So what happened with that? I said all that to say this: when it came time to leave there and go home, you would see Brown and a crew from his homies from the neighborhood, and he would go, "Yo, Sirius, man, I heard y'all the other night. Yo, how you get on the radio? I got Dinko, right? Yeah. I got him and another guy. I wanna try to do that." So I said, "Yo," I gave him the number to send him to 510. I said, "Yo, tell him that I sent you. Ask for Keith. Tell him I sent you." And that's how y'all got hooked up with him. He was following me religiously, Chuck, every night. He's following me like, "Yo, what's up, Sirius?" I'm like, "Damn, his brother, man."
You talking about Dinko?
Yeah. I'm talking about Brown. Brown is the arranger of that LONS vibes. He arranged it. So he's following me.
As a side note, that Brown's name is Brian Higgins, his government. His brother is Dow Higgins, who Lee was talking about, who he was working with at Uniondale High that night. So that's how that's all related. And DJ Higgs. So And earlier before you left, K Fine, I was asking the whole thing, like the whole thing about how Woody got in, and then and Sirius is talking about him and Woody. Him and Jam Master Jay making that decision. So just to bring you up to speed on that. Also, ladies and gentlemen, not to say I'm taking over the show, but we're here with the great Seriously Fine right here on C-Doc again. And
peace and blessings, folks. Peace and blessings.
They're looking amazed at the stories. I'm going to ask this before I zip my lips and stuff like that.
Real quick.
Let me down with us from the beginning.
Real quick, before you do that, you've been waiting. And you've been waiting in the wings because you guys know him too. Ladies and gentlemen, Sugar Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. What up,
ready to penetrate. Ready to penetrate. Ready to penetrate. What's up, bro? What's up, bro?
Ain't nothing, y'all.
What's up, Flintstone?
Hey, you're fired.
Flintstone, you're fired.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that Mr. Slate joke will never die.
It'll never die, man.
It'll never die.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead, Bear.
Nah, I'm just saying that just to let y'all know once again that Mr. Slate, I used to look like Mr. Slate to Chuck D with the gazelles with no lenses, and he used to say, "Stone, you're fine" all the time. So that's where that shit came from. Word up.
Yo, it's crazy,
man. It's good to see y'all back together, though, man. I mean, like this is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
To have Chuck here with us, where it started, right now, where he had toppled so many. He did so many great things, and his contribution for the music, for hip hop, for the genre itself is nothing less than incredible. Just to be here with Chuck D.
Absolutely.
Well, here's the story in this. I never wanted to be no recording artist with Def Jam.
I know that.
Matter of fact, here's a trivia. Rick was chasing me down for 2 years. I tried to like pass the buck. So Dre and Original Concept got in there. And when I heard that Jay was working with y'all, I said, well, boom, it's a no-brainer. You're gonna be on Def Jam, you know. So Rick was still pulling at me. And even when he pulled me in the last minute, because he wanted Public Enemy #1, the song, we got OB to record. I pulled in OB. I said, listen, your voice is close to mine. Just do it this way. And OB recorded over Public Enemy #1, and we turned it into Def Jam. And Rick was like, nah, I want you. I'm like, I'm like Smokey Robinson. All I like to do is coach. I like to coach the MCs because we tried to be Def Jam. I was like, I don't want to just be up front. I want to be behind. But you know, crazier things happen. We had to make that decision. But I did feel confident that Jay was going to get y'all with Def Jam. What happened there?
At the time, we're talking about a budgeting situation, and what Jay wanted to do, and then Joe and Joe hopped on the vibes, and then Russell was like, "Yo, let's put a compilation together called Run DMC Presents." So what happened was they were each of them was supposed to bring in a group or whatever from the neighborhood because Jay was the catalyst. You know what I'm saying? Jay really didn't know production like that. You know what I'm saying? So for us, it was just an opportunity because you got to understand at the time when you're trying to record and you're from the neighborhood, you ain't got no money to be going into no Chungking or no Music Palace. So it was a reason, it was a way for us to record. I remember one time we had to wait for like 2 or 3 years, and finally attest to this. Every time he went on the tour with the King of Rock album, it was 6 months. 6 months. And we had to wait, and we got all the studio time that they used, like Electric Lady. We would go in and use 2 hours to make a record, or go to Chungking and make a record. At all hours of the day, we had to be open for it. I said that to say this: the whole thing was about Jay starting the other side of hip hop, which is getting into production, and we were trying to be one of the groups on the Def Jam thing. And I think at the time, things just happened with the money and the relationship with Rick and Russell at the time, and
it was chaos. It was chaos over there.
Yeah,
I remember. It's funny because every time we was at BAU, and Chuck would come in there, and I'll be like, "Yo, Chuck, Rick's on the phone." So Chuck will go in there. The show started at 10? You be on the phone until the damn show ended for like 3 hours talking to that man. I said, "Yo, Chuck, he ain't trying to hear me." He said, "Yo, see, he ain't trying to hear me." You be stuck in that studio booth for about 3 hours talking to that man, dude. He was a definite politician. But look, man, he knew what time it was, man. You had to respect Rick's ear, man. What a guy, what a production dude he was, man. What a genius he was. You know what I'm saying?
Did you guys work with Davey? You guys work with Davey?
Yeah, Dave was in the studio. Yes, he did. Yes, we did. Dave did the majority of the production, co-production on that album. Yeah. But remember, when Sirius said something, he pointed to something. We were in the studio at times without Jam Master Jay. And let me tell you something, what we came up with never made the album.
Oh, wow.
That was seriously fine. Choice 5, hardcore, Spectrum City, knockout.
Where are those tapes?
Yeah, right.
See those guys right there, CC Doc and Flatline and Ultra?
God,
they're like, where are those tapes?
That.
Listen, we made the album that we produced from Music Palace, Chuck, was how we gave it to Harry Allen, and Harry Allen is the reason why we were able to get the deal, because he made an article based upon the demo we gave him and said, Def Jam is doing some old Voltron sucking them dry vibes, and they not giving us the time of day. So the article comes out on the Village Voice, and then the next day we getting offers from all 5 of the majors. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing that was all crazy was when you go to a major at this time, and Chuck will let you know, when you go to a label that's just you at this time, when you're just used to putting out pop and R&B records, you have no inkling on how to market or promote the groups. So what happened is we were stuck in a situation where when we got the deal with Rush as the management, and Arista signed us with the whole inclination of Russell and Leo will be the ones that'll navigate the album and navigate the career. But they never did that. They never did that. They never got on the phone with the label. Yeah. They never got on the phone with the label because the label would call me like, "What's up with your management? We're not hearing nothing from them." Because when you put out we had to put out something that wasn't of us. Nothing Could Stop Us was a great radio record, but it wasn't us. We did that because Jay was like, "Yo, y'all got to make something for the radio because they don't know how to do nothing else at Arista but make, to promote radio." Yeah. And I think that's what our downfall was, because if we would have put out something more us, like the album that we made, because it's 2 albums, our album that we made ourselves and the album that Davey D produced. And
it's a dope album, so I don't want to.
I appreciate you.
It's a classic.
But that is the commercialized album
version of us. That's right.
Yes,
Young Men.
That's the shit.
Yeah.
It's a classic. Here's another thing, right? My all-time favorites, right? But I could not hear Run, who's to me one of the greatest MC of all time. I could not hear Run in the Kine voice.
Thank you, Chuck. Well, what it is.
Around Run's house, Run's house as a song, I keep hearing K5. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
as you should.
Will continue to hear him because, like you said, unbeknownst to the world, when we went into the studio, like Sirius said earlier, in between, after their tours or before their tour, before they made their albums, our recordings were circulating in the cars of DMC and Joseph Simmons. So when you heard pulsating, dominating up above, cold chilling and I'm willing. My name's Run Love. K Fine said this. Pulsating, dominating. How did he say? How did that rhyme go, K Fine? You can say. Fine. He said.
He's not on. He's not on.
But he had a rhyme just like that. Pulsating, dominating up above. But remember, K Fine had said a rhyme very similar to that. But like I said, that's they know. But what I'm trying to say is that's why you heard on that album, you heard in other words, we were the inspiration of Run DMC.
And that's a fact because me, Sirius used to be around them every day. And there was times that we would sit and we would talk rhymes. And he would say, "Yo, man, how you was spitting?" I said, you gotta understand. I said it's about flow and cadence. And if you check their history, if you listen to the King of Rock album and how basic their cadences and their wordplay was, and then after they associated with us, all of a sudden it was a trend. But then they get a ruler name with a cooler name. The whole cadence and their whole style switched. So Fine style is eminent through Joe. And that's when my boys in my hood was like, "Yo, what happened to man? Why they take your whole vibes? They fighting. What the heck?"
Did anybody hear me?
They were inspired by
you good.
They were inspired by the energy.
Yeah, and here's the crazy thing. When you hear Jay-Z, you hear Run and Jay-Z, and you hear K Fine a little and Run, and then it's all interrelated.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, of course.
Strong Island is all. Yo, the Strong Island is really the home of the spitters. Know that. Strong Island is the home of the spitters. We could go down the line from Biz to LL. Yeah, I said LL.
And
You know what I mean?
and
He
you
from
know,
Strong
and
Island. Let's keep
Chuck,
it 100.
Chuck and Hank
All right, my connection's
Stockley
back. I can see
and
y'all guys now.
KG, they inspired us to
What I missed?
perform the best stage shows. It was presentation. It was how you came in and how you went out.
Yeah.
That's right.
Everything else didn't count. Everything else didn't
Right.
count. How
Right.
you came in and how you went out. What you did in the middle, they're already mesmerized by your intro. What's your intro? You got them locked. That,
Yeah,
they-
you remember what
they
we used
taught
to
us
say,
well.
Lee? 10 seconds. You only had 10 seconds to grab the attention of a person. You got
That's
10 seconds vocally to grab the attention of a person from your vocals and from your beat. You had 10 seconds,
That's it.
and that 10 seconds can be life or death to you. You know what I mean?
Yep.
In the game.
Yep.
And now with the advent of computers, it's even worse now. You know what I'm saying? It's even
Yeah.
worse. In other words, the attention span of a young person that's 25 or 20 years old, they ain't got no time to be listening to vocals. They don't care about the craft of the pen like they used to when we was coming through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got I got one of my I got the homie right there, Sugar Bear, who came through with a real blessing of a track, and we combined on a real nice vibe for my DJ, the Audio Major Chip C, called "Cut It Up Chip," and going back and forth with him, man, and he,
Right.
listen, and hey Chuck, he still got my daddy's records. I want my daddy's records.
Hey, yo,
I still want my daddy records.
you shouldn't have given him up.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I gave me that
my whole
record on the strip, and you
Hey,
turned it
my
into
whole
a
career was
Barbie.
built by Lego. You know what I'm saying? My career was built by Lego. I had to get something from Chanello, got registered. I had to go get. I took everything from 510 and ran with it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But yeah, I made my perfect pot of spaghetti with it, though. You know what I mean?
I think we credit Chuck because Chuck, you gave structure, and everybody in the hood, I don't care who you are or what you're into as far as business or education, you need structure. And you guys at 510 gave us structure. We didn't know anything, but we knew how to rhyme, and y'all gave us a place to execute that. Y'all gave us structure, and I can't thank y'all enough for that, man. And I'll say this to you straight up: if it wasn't you, I know you saved my life from the streets. That's a fact.
And more importantly, they inspired us. That's the difference, and that's the love. You know, and that's the whole thing. If you're not inspiring your next brother, or then you're purposeless. They inspired us to do better, and we made sure, like, yo, listen, this is where we from, and we never wanted to disappoint anybody. What we made look easy took work.
Absolutely.
And remember, Rap Olympics took place in the wintertime. Remember, Chuck?
Mm-hmm.
We were in the winter in the sleet practicing till we could not. In other words, I heard Bill Parcells said some people practice just to get it right. Some people practice so they could never get it wrong.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man.
I tell people a lot. It's like my biggest disappointment, and I still hear like the sound. Maybe it's my headphones, but my biggest disappointment was not being that coach that ushered everybody in. I felt that when I did the Public Enemy thing, I thought I abandoned y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did.
Listen, you know my role when I was at 510, right? I was like that Smokey Robinson dude. I'll work you out, and I'm right there on the sideline. Like, go.
Yeah.
And when I was removed from that role and I had to go around the world, I came back. And the 510 thing changed and different because I felt that those were my accountability. Y'all were my guys, like if I was a camp counselor, y'all are my kids, man. And I felt that okay, at least seriously fine is gonna be on. They're gonna come in the Def Jam. So I felt that, to me, I felt disappointed that I couldn't even help see that through. So when it finally came out, I said, you know, I was over there, it came out over there. I said, somebody still got to nurture the baby.
Right.
You know, I wasn't in management. I wasn't in, no more. I wasn't in management. I wasn't in administration. You know, I was part of a production team that was kind of was doing a lot of things, but you know, I had an important role in. You know, I mean, I never look at whatever I didn't have as a blessing, but I felt that was always my call, and this is why we have shows like this. This is why I've done Rap Station, you know, for 20 years. This is why Flatline and myself and C-Doc, we partnered up in Rap Station and You Don't Stop radio show, you know, to keep the legacy, the music, the spirit of what this is alive.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yo, you know, it's crazy. I never understood to this day that, see, we put Jay on. We was rocking with Jay, but then there came a time when Jay got real busy.
I can't hear you guys.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
I can hear you and see you fine.
You can hear me?
I can hear everybody. I can hear and I can see.
You can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. I think K Fine is still having.
Oh, I was saying
searching for a signal.
I was saying that at the time when we was rolling with Jay, there came a time where Russell had pulled me to the side and was like, "Yo, man, you know Chuck and Keith Shopley?" I said, "Dude, you know them? Those are our pros. We came in the game through them." So my contract had your name and Keith's name on our original Arista contracts. Did you know that?
Yes.
For what?
To produce us.
Yes.
Wow.
On our original contract, on original contract from Arista, so they didn't notify you at all.
Nah, I would have loved that opportunity to have an idea in it, because I sure enough would have told Arista that the way that y'all want it is the way it should be. My first record to them was Public Enemy #1, and you know how wild that was when I did the demo in '84. So going in. I only wanted to do the wildest, craziest stuff because I didn't want to do it anyway. So you got it. I'm not making nothing commercial, but Rick was crazy enough, like us and like me. Me and Rick were like, as crazy as it is, we don't care about it doing anything. All we know is gonna bang some heads. And so that was my thing. So if I was involved with anything with y'all, I'm like, yeah. You gotta let the MCs do what they do and feel like they have to feel, and don't give a fuck about nothing. And that was that. So I had no idea. Me and Keith was that's a fact. Wow, that's
okay. Y'all were on our first draft. Hey, Russell was like, "Yo, you know, I want them to." He made a specific meeting that he wanted you and Keith to produce the album instead of Jay.
Wow.
For some reason, we could not. You was on tour already.
Yeah.
You was on tour on the road, and we couldn't get in contact with you to verify what was going on. So that's why Jay.
You sure I wasn't on tour with Jay? I could have been on tour with Jay at the time.
I want to. Probably. I want to say I think y'all was at it was a Fresh Fest or something like that. The one in Cali when y'all went to LA. Yeah. No, it wasn't that.
Wasn't that? That went after it. Okay.
I think it was before that. I think it might have been before that.
I wasn't going to supersede anything that Jay did anyway, because Jay was all our union leader anyway, man. It's like whatever Jay. You know, the biggest tragedy is that Run DMC never recorded with Def Jam, so they was always in the scramble, and they had a lawsuit. So as much as they wanted to swing, they wanted to swing their records through Def Jam, but couldn't under the profile thing. Therefore, there was some red tape even doing what they wanted to do with y'all with Def Jam. That was it was a big mess. In fact, it was a tragedy. because
Yeah.
it left a lot of different debris all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe
Yeah,
used
and
to be Joe used to talk all the time with me. Ron used to say, "Yo, man, man, y'all getting points." He said, "You getting points? See?" He said, "Yeah, we getting points." He said, "We ain't getting nothing." That's why they kind of rebelled, and every 5 minutes that you used to see them together, they had the Def Jam jackets on. You dig?
Right.
And it was like a rebellious move for them. You know what I mean? Every time you seen Jay, they had the Burgundy Def Jam jackets on, and there was like a form of rebellion against Corey and them. You know what I'm saying?
they didn't
That's a
have
fact.
profile. They didn't have profile jackets on.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
I guess I'm back.
But yeah, that's
Yeah, I got a
What-
question
yo,
for y'all.
I
I got a
guys. I'm
question.
having problems. I just something's going wrong with this connection, so I can't hear what you guys are saying.
Hey,
Oh,
you
we
walking
can
all
hear
over
you,
the
though.
moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walking all
Since
over
I've
the
been
moon
gone so long, I
trying
just
to
want to give a
find
shout
a connection.
out Choice Master Chip C, Doc Kim, and Black Justin Born Freedom. Big members that have helped us with the crew.
The click
Word
for
up.
sure. That's
Hey,
the
yo,
click.
I got a question, though.
What's
I got
up,
a
man?
question. Yo, when me and Web produced that track, Cut It Up, Chip,
Can't
right?
hear you guys.
Right.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm listening.
Where the mix of it came into play? Like, well, I found nothing got added to it. We didn't know that was gonna be part of it once it went in.
That's
We
a
thought,
story. Let's listen. I'm sorry that when you gave me the track, right? When you gave me the track for Chip for our DJ, right? Chip had our DJ had just lost his mother due to cancer. So he was really, really depressed and out of it. And Jay was challenging him as far as making tracks, and he just didn't have the love to do it. So when I gave him the track, when it was time to go in the studio, he was kind of like brushing us off. You know what I'm saying? It was a real difficult time for him. He didn't really want to do anything. So when he came to the studio to lay down what he was going to do, we were thinking he's going to do some cutting. He came in there and he put the Fatback, what's the name joint on there, and I was like, and I challenged him about it, like, yo, man, he said, yo, this is what I feel. This is what I feel. I said, bro, you could have did much more than that. You know what I'm saying? You don't think you could have did more than that? And Jay challenged him on the point as well. You know what I'm saying? They got into a heated debate themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason. If to answer your question, it wasn't like we all said, yeah, that's hot. No, it wasn't like that. It was a brother was going through a real depressive time.
that wasn't it. No, and you know, my heart goes out to that story. But all that time I was thinking that Jam Master Jay put that on there. I thought he did it that whole time.
No.
Yeah, it was
The name
our
of the
DJ.
joint was joint was Cut It Up, Chip. So it was about the DJ doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Jay had zero to do with that track.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what that was. That's what that was, bro. Against our
I was
wishes.
out of here.
Against our wishes, please believe
basically, the Seriously Fine album became a casualty of the
big machine.
The big machine. A tragedy, as Chuck said. As Chuck put it, a tragedy, and we were casualties of the beginning of something that they had a difficult time fixing. And also, you know what? I'm beginning to believe maybe they saw something that kind of put a little. Say, you know what? Nah, we can't let them. Because remember, when our album came out, because Jam Master Jay produced us, who do you think Seriously Fine wind up sounding like? Run DMC.
Run DMC.
There you go.
And yo, C-Doc and Flatline, I got the original album. Y'all showing CDs. I got the album. I got the wax of that Seriously Fine album.
Well, sure.
I got the wax.
There's another album aside from that.
Yeah.
There's 7 to 10 tracks that
Where are those
tapes?
Yeah,
Where are those
yeah,
tapes?
where's that at?
Oh my God! And we went in.
I don't know.
on it.
I mean, between me and Lee, we used to have all the tapes and the Maxell Golds that we used to collect. And I don't know if them tapes. Yeah, I don't even know if them tapes are still in existence right now, as far as in the attic and all that. You know what I'm saying?
The
Man,
studios have them. The studios, I think, Music Palace. Right?
Music
No, they don't
Palace
got
might have
them.
it.
No, you talking about
Boulder might have it, but Chung King and all those other spots, they dead in the water. However, you know, I would also say that yeah, you talking to not only the tape the tape archivists, but with C-Doc and Flatline and Ultra, man, those are the tape. Those are the sound rebuilders. They will take a tape and say, "Hey, listen, seriously, fine, let's do a reissue in a box set." Yeah, they ain't playing, bro.
Okay.
We made ready to rule. Seriously, fine. Kill the noise. Oh my God, was just the name. I mean, I don't even. There's another one that we made, and it goes like this, and one would. Oh my God, it was just incredible.
Come on, the joint. Come on, yeah, man. It's a what you say, fine ain't on it. He said, yo, it was a stupid raps kit called the Monster Shit.
Yes, we made a record called the Monster Shit. Oh my God,
It's a stupid kit called the Monster Shit. Yeah,
okay,
pretty much.
It was made
Let's break this down. Okay.
Hey.
What was the official release date of your album? And how many videos did you do? Because we see one. I saw
that was
one,
it.
and I couldn't believe that y'all even did a video. Because this is the thing about nowadays. Nowadays, there's so much stuff that wasn't released or maybe was seen one time. Now it's resurfacing. So when I saw the Seriously Fine video, I was like, "Oh my God! I didn't even know that y'all did a video." What your thoughts?
I remember we had a meeting, right? And it was a big thing, Chuck, about the budget for the video. It's a big thing. You know, we sitting down there and, yo, they were really in the uproar. We got to spend $50,000 on this thing. It was a big thing for them, like to give us a $50,000 video. So it was like, damn, and they got some dude, the same dude that did our video ended up doing Hammer's video. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, you know, they were so, the label was so like, they just really didn't know nothing about hip hop and how to market or promote. So they just.
Arista, y'all had what? Whitney Houston and Aretha Franklin at the same time, but the hip hop side, what was it? Silk Times Leather on it later on, and
Silk Time. K9 Posse, Eddie Murphy's brother, and 3 Times Dope. 3 Times Dope was the catalyst.
Yep, 3 times.
Right.
From out of Philly.
Was Bobcat on there too? No.
Bobcat had a solo deal, through the LA Posse.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact. He had, I remember that. That's a fact. Because we met him in LA when I went to LA with Running in D, and they were all amped about him, and he's a cool brother. Big up to Bobcat, man, real talented brother on the wheels for sure. And man, Arista really tried to get involved with hip hop, but didn't know how to market or promote it at the time. That's why they really was dependent upon Russell and them to lead the way with that. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, most of the people back then, later on, Chuck, ended up marketing Birdman and them dudes. A lot of the ladies and the promotional people that worked with us ended up going to Universal and signing with Birdman and marketing them.
Wow.
That's a fact.
By that time, it was, remember, but by that time, rap itself was broader. It was being more accepted, so to speak.
Yo, listen, the fact that the people that and Chuck, you know this from you a vet, how you see all these people that work the A&R positions, and then, you see them later on in life, and if they're still in the game, this is a time where you will prosper, because the dudes that's involved now is they just don't even understand how blessed they are that they stand on they standing on our shoulders. You dig? And listen, the major labels. It's like, and I make this this quick comparison. To me, the major labels came in the 80s, right? And it was like I compare that to, remember Chuck back in the days when you guys were performing and doing the DJ thing with Spectrum, you only were as known and famous based upon your equipment.
Right.
You didn't have to necessarily have the talent, but if you had the equipment, I'm talking about the big equipment to play clubs like you guys did. You didn't necessarily have to have the talent back then, but if you had the equipment, you will get famous on the street in no time. I equate that with the labels. At the time, before we got with the major labels, when the Def Jam got the subsidiary agreement with CBS, and we got the Arista deal, and all the majors came in, the Columbians and all that. Back then, if you was on a low, the Enjoys of the world, or any of the the independent dance record labels that were out of Dykeman at the time, you really didn't do anything. But when the majors came through, and boom, that's why I make the comparison to like back in the days, like the Infinity Machines and the Disco Twins. If you ain't had that type of equipment, you was not getting known. I ain't care how nice you was or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
that's a dope
for
analogy. But you couldn't get in the A&R departments and them major record labels. I don't understand it myself back then. The guy who brought in Willie Nelson couldn't figure out what the Boys was doing. You know what I'm saying? At a major label.
Absolutely.
You follow what I'm saying? So we needed our own entity anyway from the gate. Because it went from major, thinking that the same A&R department that brought in Lionel Richie or Gladys Knight or whoever, thinking that they can build a rap artist under the same, note.
Process, after the same process. Yeah,
exactly. So it was like that for a minute, but then we regrouped and changed the whole thing. We needed our own.
Yep.
Right.
And I wish I was just like back then. I wish it was, I was just a product of the environment. You know what I mean?
I tell anybody, I said I didn't know the business for nothing. I had to learn by trial and error. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anything as far as how to set up any type of marketing and promotional heads to back us while we were recording or get on the phone. I didn't know any of that stuff. We just concentrated on what we knew, which was the lyrics.
Right. I tell motherfuckers a minute, man, don't scandalize mine. That's it. Mind your business.
I'll tell you this much. The end goal, like what we thought, I said, listen, we could become a Motown and we could become a super radio situation. If there was a radio station that actually we were able to take over in Long Island, the WLIR, which I heard was
forget about it.
But they didn't want to give in. We'd have ruled New York with that. And if we became a record label, we'd have ruled with that. It's just that we never got any drug money, so we never got money.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So we had to deal with the city and what the way they did things, because we just regular workers, man. But we worked this hip hop thing, and we had to do it like one at a time. But if our plan had gone through where we was ahead of radio and we were ahead of having a record company, we'd have been Motown, man, for real. Because we knew what rappers had to do to win, no matter what.
Right.
Nobody could stop. So like when I seen the California guys come out later, I was like, yo, man, we did that 5 years ago, man.
Right.
They all had to group up and posse up to be able to be a force at New York. So when I started going out there, I was like, y'all kind of got it, but what we did on Long Island, nobody ever saw.
No. Yeah. That collection, like what you just alluded to, it was such a it's like, yo, we were all trying to get it, you know what I'm saying, at the same time, and we were all trying to just go for what we knew as far as creatively speaking, you know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, Chuck, you know from your touring how instrumental when you went out in the world, the independent game that the South established was so pivotal.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because we kind of had to learn from them as far as marketing and promotion and how to get the records from the trunk to the stores and from the stores to the radio. So I have to credit the South for really, really giving us the game for real. You know what I'm saying? The Master P's of the world, the Troney Drapers of the world, and all that. They really showed New York how to go get it. You know what I'm saying? For real.
They knew what
That's
their
a
people
fact.
wanted to hear, and they knew how to give it to them.
Yeah, bro.
And as they say, scared money don't make no money. Over here, meanwhile, on the East Coast, these majors wasn't even distributing scared money. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. You can't make no money if you just you penny pension.
Right.
You got to put all your confidence in that group and their idea, but because they had no idea. They had no idea. They had Lisa Stansfield been around the world, and everybody else. Didn't they have Milli Vanilli too?
Yeah,
No?
hell yeah.
So
Yeah,
And I don't know why you brought them up, but yeah.
what happened?
come on.
What happened post your record release? Do you guys remember any promotional shows that you did?
Yeah, we did.
Seriously Crime? Anything where like you had to perform your records?
Yes, we did a couple.
One show we did. One show that I remember distinctively because me and Jay had bought these outfits out in LA, and the limousine driver got robbed and robbed me of my $400 trench coat. I was pissed. It was at the BRE for Bobby Brown. And we robbed, and matter of fact, what's the name was the host. Ice-T was the co-host, and Rosie was a co-host. And this is right about the time that Living Color was about to start. You dig? And that was a big show for us. I'm hopping off the stage with Fine, and we running crazy. I remember a specific solo show that I did with what's his name? I came in there with DMC. Chuck, listen. LL comes, right? He gets on the stage. This is at EPMD's Gold Party. LL comes on the stage fresh from recording with Barley Mark for his new album that's coming out. He calls out all the MCs from Rush Management. All the rappers from Rush Management, come to the stage now. I looked over to my left. Lee had went to talk to this chick, and I think little Simone that used to work up at the office said, "Sirius, you better get up there." And I had on my, I had my all my pimp regalia on, I had my fur on, my jewelry on, my hat. So I went up there, and LL had went and seen Kane, and Kane was on the side with him, and I grabbed the mic first because my whole philosophy is you ain't gonna remember nothing but how the story first starts and how the story ends. So I grabbed the mic. I grabbed the mic first, and I started spitting, bouncing cadences and spitting, doing my thing. And right after that, Kane got on, did his thing. Biz is on the wheels. Fast forward about an hour or two later, me and DMC meet him at this diner. They said, "Yo," Al looked at me and said, "Yo, I don't know what you were saying, bro. You were spitting some shit." Because I'm looking at them while I'm rhyming, right? And I'm spitting, and him and Kane was looking at me. LL and Kane was looking at me, nodding their head, and Biz is on the wheels. That, to me, that's my Grammy.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
my Grammy. Because at the time, and it's funny you said footage, Bear, because there's different captions and pictures of LL with Kane on the side of the stage at that event. And I'm like, yeah, that was the night. That was my night right there. You dig?
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my night right there.
Damn.
You dig? That's a fact, man. That was my night, man, for real. And yeah, I got a phone call from Leo at the time. He said, "Yo, man, what you doing up there, man? I heard you the talkative." I said, "Yeah, man, we spits it around here. You know what I'm saying? We spits it around here. Y'all need to get on the phone and call that label. I need another advance." For real. I said, we need another advance for real. But yeah, man, that was one of the greatest nights of my life because I was able to, show myself that I was as good as the best in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the elder all night long would ask me, how you think Kane sounded? How you think this one sounded? He would like critique me. He was, L was crazy, man, for real.
The young LL Cool J, man, was totally like, he was manic on it, man. But okay, all right. Last couple questions for me. Okay, you got the album release. There's a disappointment in there, but also you've stockpiled all these songs for Arista. There's another album coming out in the near future. There's a bunch of record company changes. And then back to the Woody thing. What does Woody think about when the Seriously Fine album comes out and he's not on Uptown? What was going on?
Very interesting.
Didn't see. Very interesting. It's funny in this life, and I'm not trying to cut you shortly. I apologize. It's just I'm trying to spit it as I get it because my brain is like crazy. Woody,
we lost track of Woody. We lost connection with Woody.
We lost connections with Woody and a whole lot of people at that time, Chuck. People that we would see every day, hourly. We didn't see Woody when he did the video with Uptown. Remember, I was at the video with him when he did Heavy D. You know what I'm saying? Video at the Encore. So after that, we ain't see Woody. Woody did a soundtrack for Oprah Winfrey's movie, The Diggers Beat. I don't know if you remember that years ago when Oprah did the movie, but he was on the soundtrack. And after that, we didn't see Woody. When we were in the studio, we never saw Woody. He never came around. He was trying to, I guess, find his way as far as raising his kid because he had a newborn son at the time. So it's funny, man. A lot of people that we came through with, we just didn't see them. No beef. We ain't have no beef with them. He just ain't come around.
We were so engulfed in trying to make it work. You know what I mean? Make something work and get them to believe in us because there was a gap. Chuck, going back, there was a gap when they didn't have a plan. Basically, they didn't have a plan. We were like, yeah, hold up, where we go now? We did a promotional show for that album. We did something at South Carolina State University. We went to Washington, but we never went on a promotional tour. We never had set dates because guess what? They had no clue as to what to do with SLF and what to put out next. But guess what? What to put out next, we had already recorded it. We had 7 joints that was ready to just blow the roof off everything. But guess what? We sat back and we got depressed. We were going at each other. We was like, listen, what are we going to do? And guess what? After that, the bottom fell out of it. And, we were disappointed. We were casualties. But those memories of, in other words, we now know what not to listen to. When you listen to somebody, so you guys said, no, F you. We're going to do it this way. You guys went in full blast. Guess what? If we had you, like, not to make you feel guilty, Chuck, but guess what? You were doing your own thing because you said, okay, if, in other words, you said, you know what? I want to be eating. Y'all going to eat this way. We didn't have that. We didn't have that inner voice that said, you know what? Okay, this is how SLF need this. This is what you need to do with them. Let us. Guess what? So it happened. It happened for a reason. But there wasn't another album set up because by that time they never picked up our option. That's what happened. The option was never picked up. It was there, but they never picked it up.
Okay.
That's the real deal. They never picked up our option, and that's when we started getting depressed, grew beds, and got jobs, and said, "Okay, we need to do this because we need some money now." And but they never picked up our option.
I would always be pulling on Sirius's coat, like, yo, Sirius, what's up? Because me and his daughter was going there, and they were in the same classes. And my oldest daughter is Sirius's daughter. And I was Sirius, and you get there, and be like, yo, C, so what's up, man? And C would be like, like, we getting some stuff together, but the industry was so vicious, man. They didn't really care. They didn't care about people. They didn't care about the artists. They didn't care about hip hop. They just everybody just was like, okay, just kind of living the cash register dream. But to me, this was always a sport, man. I look to y'all like I was a basketball coach, man, and y'all was my AAU top-notch players, man. I want to see y'all go to the pros and smash, and I want to keep bringing cats up to smash, man. But that just didn't come to be. I kind of been doing it for like the last 10 to 15 years with C-Doc and Flatline, and we got Ultra, and Jenny was there at the beginning of the K-Day time. So we do it now for the last couple of generations and stuff like that. But that was my calling, man, because y'all to me, when people say GOATs, I said, man, listen, man, y'all got no idea, man. You got no idea what I've seen, who I seen do, who I seen pioneer stuff. And if you heard me throw out something, you caught me in my Satchel Paige years. You caught me in the afterbird. That was like I was an old dude by the time you heard me first, stuff like that. So, but before that, I did stuff that I can't even describe to you, man. That we had the honor to help cultivate.
Yeah. I mean, Chuck, you have to think about it. You cultivated, you bought in, your ego was at the door. You didn't have an ego. You were the catalyst to bring in original concept with Dre, and look what that spawned into. You had us. You had then you went on a diabolical move and waited, and then you formulated. You went Voltron, YBT. You got the leaders. Yo, man, you were brilliant, bro. Yeah. Brilliant, because it takes mathematics.
Well, man, big up to Dre, because I passed Dre the Public Enemy #1 demo to get people to listen to the radio show over Jay's lap, sitting next to Dre. So Dre is actually the main fixture force, because he started hanging with Rick and Danceteria and Downtown, him and T Money, and then by that they started wanting me, but I wouldn't go into the city. So Dre would come out and Bill would come out trying to get me involved with that. I said, well, in order for me to be involved with that, you got to bring the whole environment, and that's when I signed. Hopefully, they can bring the whole environment into the whole rush. Remember, we called it the Great Surrender. I surrendered. We surrendered our dreams when I signed that contract.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I remember.
Well, you surrendered a dream to create another one.
That's a fact.
Well, y'all was an inspiration. Y'all was an inspiration. If I got to get up there and be a rapper, then I'm gonna be a rapper based on the inspiration and the energy that I already seen, had the honor to help cultivate. And then I said, well, if I was gonna be in a teaching coaching mode, if I'm gonna actually do this, I can't let my students down.
Right. That's a fact. Right. Listen.
I gotta formulate stuff. Okay, Griffin, y'all cover that up, and Flavor, you be out there like that, and I can lay in the back a little bit. So
C-Dot, you can hear me?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me, C-Dot? Chuck is a real good dude. He's leaving out a lot of stuff, and Bear and him could co-sign what I'm about to say. Do you know how many nights we would sit at 5:10, and then we would close, and Chuck and Keith would close up, and we hop in the back of his dad's U-Haul and ask him, Rod, yo, could you drop us off at the and between him, Bear, Rico, we might have had $10 between us. You know what I'm saying? We ride in the back of this U-Haul truck, and all of a sudden you hear Keith, yo, where you motherfuckers want to get dropped off at?
Yeah. Yep. He dropped me off in front of Carvel's.
That's a fact, yo. That's a fact. Those were, yo, listen, we didn't have no money, man. We just had a lot of love at that time, man. It was a lot of, yo, good memories, bro, for
now I got
real.
a question for you, Chuck. Not to discredit anybody else, the artists, the talent that's out there, but do you think, is there a lack of love for the sport itself? Has the money, has the lucrativeness, I'd say, diminished the love for the game?
Oh, no question. But see, that's why you see C-Doc and Flatline and Ultra. I mean, I linked up with them 20 years ago, 25 years ago. And but, you know, well, Flatline's from Seattle, Vancouver area. C-Doc is from, you know, Pittsburgh, Cleveland area, right?
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
You know, Ultra is from Jersey, Philly area. Jenny's from Los Angeles. I had to go around the world to find like-minded people that love this thing. Once again,
Right.
the love-minded, we still looking to see if we can find a dime up in this piece. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And no shade, right? But I look at the TV, and the biggest news, other than the bridge collapsing, is that they had the Puffy's Miami and LA home, and they said, and the big news plays it up like, we didn't know this dude was a billionaire and had so much.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear that.
What that got to do with what we do?
Yeah.
However,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with what we do.
Yes.
However, that's where all that money was at. You know, they was showing you know how the company that he made the liquor deal, all of a sudden the liquor deal don't want to do it no more. And the revolt that he started, he had to sell it, and they severing ties. You know, all that. That's where all that money is, and that ain't never really crossed our equation of what we think this thing is for our love. That they never came across. When I hear cats talk about hip hop and rap from like a couple generations down, and I hear what they talk about and how they talk about it, I'm like, yo, man, I think deep down, deep down, really seriously, you don't really understand how deep the spiritual love for this hip hop rap shit, rhyme shit really is. I look at it serious. I say serious. I've known this man for 40 years, and I say, now that's an MC, because it's in his blood, man. And whatever the end result is, que sera, whatever will be, will be. But at the end of the day, man, God rest, John Wells, man. To see John Wells homegoing, man. I said that is a homegoing for an MC, man. John Wells did it, man, because, and I had the honor and the pride to work with C-Doc, releasing a vinyl album on John Wells called Pop Smash, because somebody told him years ago, and sort of out of our camp this is John Wells, told John Wells years ago that he should give it up and stop rhyming.
Yes, sir.
Somebody told John Wells he should give it up and stop rhyming. And I saw that when it was told to him, it broke his heart. And I said, John, man, listen, this is what we do. We have, like, hey, man, keep doing your thing. And John was like, you know what, Chuck, we was on tour together. We did this. Yo, man, listen, man, I don't, whatever. I love this shit. I mean, that's exactly how he sounded. Yo, I love this shit. I just love this. This shit gives me life. So, John's homegoing, man, just a couple years ago, a year and a half ago, we knew that was an MC, man. There was no measurement. There was no measurement for John Wells outside of the love for it, and he gonna spit until the top drop. You know what I'm saying? And so back to the original thing you were saying, Lee. Like this is what we do when we know art, right? Art is the thing that brings us together as human beings, man. And when you recognize this as an art form, this keeps us alive, man. It ain't got nothing to do with the job we got. Okay, we got some money over here. We might be in real estate over there. All that other shit is all that other shit. But this is to the core, man. It's why painters paint. It's why fishermen fish. It's why sculptors sculpt. But when you start saying that this ain't art and this is something that you go out to get to eat off of, you turn it into something else that God walks out the room, man. This is I do this like I do my paintings and my art, man. There is no rhyme or reason for why I do this thing. It's really no, you know, from day one, it's like, why you do it? I don't know, man. All I know at the end of the day, you know, I'm one of the guys that I don't smoke and I don't drink, but this is my high. That's it. And motherfuckers could never understand that shit.
Yeah. Because what? You know what? It's in the heart, and it never leaves you.
Right.
From the slide stones, from the attempts that we mimicked, that we choreographed our show, and from the time that you said, you know what, listen, you guys got to go out there and bomb from the beginning. When you told us that, we looked at each other. We said, all right, that's what you want. That's what the crowd wanted. It's not a matter, but that's what we wanted to give them. That's the whole thing. We wanted to give them a show. That's the difference. We wanted to leave them mesmerized.
Right.
And we worked our hardest to do it. And that's that, and that made us sweat. Just to let them know, just for them to say, you know what, I like your show. That made them create a better one. That's what it is. Instead of just getting on the stage and it's like, no, we couldn't. Five MCs, you can't stand in one place. We had to do something.
Right.
And
that's the vibe. I mean, the question that came to me years ago around that time, why y'all got 5 instead of 4 MCs? I said, because mathematically, 5 trumps 4. You know what I'm saying? History in the game showed that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I love the Cold Crush and I love JDL and them. But when it came to the 5, when the Furious came, that's what it was. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it was.
So for me, like I said, I left the game in 2002. I think my last record, I'm on. See that you're looking at one of the original members of the Flip Mode Squad. Wow. I'm one of the original main members of the Flip Mode Squad. I did Chuck Buster's album Disaster Strikes.
Yeah.
I'm actually on Rampage's Flip Mode Enemy. I'm in the video.
Wow.
I did that. I went on tour with Bus and them, and the only reason that Sirius ain't have a solo album with Bus is I got sick, and I never got a chance to record. And that's what that is. You know what I mean? That was 2000, 2001. And I big up that's my baby bro. I taught them well. I taught them about voice inflections. I taught them about cadences. I said there's no rules to expanding your voice and changing the cadence. If you listen to Belle Biv DeVoe's record, what I gave to what Brown gave to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm the catalyst, and I can stick out my chin on that one. That's
super
a fact.
dope, man. That's great.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That you guys are wonderful, wonderful mentors. Because you go around and you ask to talk about there's a lot of talk on Sirius out there. Oh,
absolutely.
Man, Sirius taught me this, and Sirius taught me that. And I still be driving around the way, catching the echo of a lot of that, man, and always been honorable. All 3 of you guys have been honorable to me, my guys.
Appreciate that.
Well, appreciate the love, man. Absolutely, man. Like I said, man, you I can speak for myself, man. You changed my life for sure. I came in the game, man, and I didn't, I had a conversation with a rap group from Hempstead. And they was like, I was with these chicks and they tried to post up like, yo, we about to get on the radio, and I said, yeah, well, I got a crew that's coming and you gonna see me in a minute. What's the name of your crew? Don't worry about it. You gonna see me. I ain't have the crew the first. And that's what started my vibe. I went and tried to find and piece together a crew, and that's what started. That's how it started the 5, for real. Yeah, bro. You never know, man. You don't never know how God leads your energy. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. It's just you just move. You know what I'm saying? Like Chuck was saying earlier, we don't know, just moving. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, the creative aspect was so key. You just, our thing was, if it sounds good to us, it's gonna sound good to them. That's how we move. You know what I'm saying? Our lyrics,
if we feel it, they gonna feel it.
Yeah.
They gonna feel it. You know what I mean? Delirious and furious, sometimes curious. My last name C, my first name serious. That's just, we feel it. You dig? And then as time goes on, you start experimenting with cadences and bars and bending bars and extending bars. It's just, man, I never, listen, I never thought in a million years, man. Never thought in a million years I'd be on TV. Like, we did the promotional MTV raps. We did the BET with Chris, whatever his name was at the time, the comedian, and that's crazy. I remember we almost got killed out there, me and Lee. We was talking to some girls in the heat of the crack era with in DC at the little, in DC, and they got on the mic. We was at this club called Grand Central, and all the D-boys at the time that was hustling back then that you heard of through the grapevine was like, let's show these New Yorkers what really time it is. I said, yo, Lee, we got to get the hell out of here. Yeah, that's when it was up for real. We had to get up out of there, bro.
It was very ugly down there. Matter of fact,
oh my
it was
God,
so ugly down there.
Yes, sir.
Signed the Junkyard band, and they tried to get more MCs on it, but it was just a little division inside DC. Bringing that rap thing, kept coming down there with more rappers, and how come we not getting more go-go bands out there? So it was just that cultural friction right then and there, and here they go. Here's some more MCs with some new stuff again from that New York, hanging around Howard and taking out chicks.
Right. It's funny. It's funny you brought up the Junkyard band, because me, Lee, and Fine, Jay told us to come to the crib when they was doing the Tougher Than Leather movie, and they had the backyard scene with the Junkyard band. So we beefed the Jay like for about a month. Like, Jay, you gotta put us in a movie. We are a group. You gotta let us get some shine or something. Man, we went in the backyard, sardines, man, and pork and beans. I said, yo, Jay, man, that's right. That's whack. Yo, you should have had us in there. We could have just stood there or something. Yo, that was a real big blow for us, for sure. We stayed there all day and all night at Ray crib. Runny Ray, God bless the dead. Oh, that was crazy.
We showed up at every place that we could. We knew that we Run DMC, because they were filming. There was a scene that they were filming in Hollis. We went and stood there for hours just to get something. You know how you want to get seen, you want to get noticed, you want to get your name, your word, you want to be heard. We did everything that you could possibly do within our 20-year project to be seen, to be heard, because we wanted people to see us. We were hungry, we were thirsty. I guess we were full of creative wit, and we were young. We just wanted it, and that's what it was. And that's why I leave a message to everybody. Whatever you want, if you want it bad enough, you'll get it, but only if you want it bad enough.
My last note I would say, well said, Lee. My last note I would say before I'm out is that the recent, verdict deal came up, and finally, after like 20 some odd years, 22, 23 year, whatever, finally the Jam Master Jay case is closed. But one thing that came out of that everybody started to find out for the first time is that how Jam Master Jay tried to always do his best to save or build something.
He did.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
He loved his neighborhood, man, so much, man. And it's like, I mean, you and I know, Chuck, the connection that he had with Dude, and they go back, and it's like, I never in a million years thought that that could happen to him, and the connection that he had with the bro that pulled the trigger, and because I seen it from the, it's crazy, man. It's I ain't gonna drop no names, but you know what it is, bro. It's I was there around all of that, and it's crazy, man. I like I said, I feel bad for his sons because his sons love their dad, man, and to go through life without a dad, especially a pivotal figure as he was. I mean, there's no Run DMC without him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's the look.
Yes.
He was the soul of the hood. People ain't care about Joe and D like that. You know what I mean? They good brothers, but they wasn't the hood. You know what I mean? Jay was the hood. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I miss him because that man exposed me to a lot behind the scenes, and I learned a lot by being around him, and I was honored to circulate with them brothers, man. And listen,
And learn
it's
from
crazy.
Yeah. But the most creative part of Jay is not being spoken about in the news right now. I just want to tell y'all that.
That's a fact.
My last statement on it is that I felt a large, which answers back to that earlier question you asked, Lee. I felt that when that happened in 2001, a large part of hip hop has still recovered off of that because there was a great deal of integrity that went with that.
Yes.
Right.
And never will. We never will recover.
No.
Right.
That's a big loss.
Absolutely.
And we were one of the first groups that he produced.
Of course.
If not the first.
Yeah, we was definitely the first because Jay ain't know what he was doing the first time we went in the studio. And he was bouncing on that rolling machine. He's like,
that 808. That 808.
Yeah. He said, I gotta make some phone calls. Yo, we're gonna come in the studio in another week, and I'm gonna get it together. I get it together.
And that's when he brought in DVD. That's when he brought in DVD.
Okay.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. And what shows you, and that's, and what Lee just said, it shows and proves that you can't do this by yourself. You can't create power by yourself. When I'm talking about power, I ain't just talking about making a move. You have to have a collective to project power. I think that's one of the that's one of the saddest things that happened within the last, I'd say, 10 years of the history of hip hop is the fact that the crew element, the collective, the crew element has disappeared. There was a time when you would see this, a crew. You know what I mean? Now the crews got misrepresented, and now instead of the collective, it turned into record labels. The Bad Boys replaced the crew. The Death Rows replaced the crew element. So the record label became the new crew element, opposed to like the last vestige of crews was the Wu-Tang Clan. The Wu is the last vestige of what a crew means. And what I said that to say this. The crews is the thing that changes the whole hip hop landscape. When you have a crew, like look at the brothers from Atlanta, the brother that that passed. I forgot. I'm sorry, I'm losing my brain, but you know who I'm talking about. The crew from Atlanta and Offset's cousin that got killed. Migos. Thank you, Chuck. God knows. Migos. They were the last crew, and you see the impact that they made. So I think to answer Lee's question that he had like about an hour ago, if the crews do not come through the hip hop, it will kill the game. The crew element must be reinstated to further the culture. That's a fact.
Well, I'm gonna leave you with one major crew that was very instrumental in us. You have a collective distribution of art within a crew. Everybody know their position and they play it well. It's teamwork. And a successful team that I know that I'm closest to is called the Bomb Squad. Need I say more?
Absolutely. No question about that.
That's
write that. Whoever's watching, write that on your wall when you get home.
Nice merch, C-Doc.
The Bomb Squad.
Thank you.
Nice merch.
Thank you.
I can never seem to ask for anything and get it.
Thank you.
Those are my party words, Chuck.
I'm sitting around here with my voice shit on though.
And listen, one last thing, Chuck.
Money.
Thank you for the lesson. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, brother. That's a fact, man.
You're my heart forever. something that we'll never forget.
Absolutely,
I'll never
bro.
forget it either, man. Never forget it.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we were able to encapsulate this conversation and crystallize it, on the C Doc Again show.
It was
And the
needed.
documentation, man, and also let's look for them damn tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yo, see that I'm on it for sure. I'm
Exclusive.
on it.
I might have to go listen. I might have to go raid the studios now.
Right?
Hey,
Absolutely.
I may have to send the feds over there.
Yo, see that it was a pleasure and an honor and a pleasure, man. And
thank you guys.
I appreciate the love and I appreciate the vibes. And Bear, this don't happen without you, Bear. This don't happen without you, and this don't happen without Chuck. Peace and blessings, bro.
Man.
Peace and
Yeah.
blessings. That's a
Thank
fact.
you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
All right. One time, boy, your mind.
All right.
And it don't stop.
Did it
Seriously
change?
fine. Oh, and shout out to K Fine. I wish the would have been better.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yep, wait early morning. Chuck, did your number change? I still have it.
It's still the same, man. It's 516 da 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 da.
Absolutely.
I got it.
Got you.
You
Yes,
know
yes,
you got
sir.
it too, serious. You got it too. Same numbers.
Listen, I want to thank y'all for putting this together.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for taking the time.
Yeah. All right.
One love.
Thank you. All right, peace.
Yeah, all
All
you
right,
gotta do
peace
is
and blessings.
hit that leave out. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, mighty interesting, huh? Yo, at the end of the day, I had to get them on here, man. We needed to hear the seriously fine story, man. I talk to these guys all the time, you know what I mean? And I see K Fine, at his job doing, driving a taxi. I run into Lee Ski, from time to time, and I definitely check up on my boy Sirius, all the time. And I was like, yo, how would y'all like to do this, man? And I helped him put this thing together. I'm talking about, even the link to hook up the StreamYard, man. I was like, I took over Chuck's shit, his job. But you know what I'm saying? I was on the phone with each and every one of them. Like, okay, yo, I'm gonna walk you through this now, and you know what I'm saying? So they finally got it. I was like, yo, okay, just enter the green room. Just enter in now. All right. I'm like, Lee's on now. Fine is on. Okay, come on, Sirius. You got it now. All right, hit the blue button, man. Let's go. I'll see y'all there.
Yeah, I appreciate Sirius taking time because I know he was busy tonight. So it was
Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, this was definitely a story that needed to be told. I mean, the 50th anniversary resurrected a lot of us, and they needed to be electrocuted. And what better place to do it but on it's C Doc Again, Channel 0. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh yeah, thank you, Bear.
It's not a problem, man.
Yeah.
Word up.
This was.
Yeah,
I remember.
thank you, Sugar Bear. You're Flintstone. You're rehired.
I appreciate it. You don't know how long I waited for you to rehire me, Chuck. Word up. Okay, now I can get back into business now, man. Word up. Word up. But yo, I'm gonna say one time for your mind, man. I gotta get up at 3, man. Go and work, man.
All right,
word
man.
up.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
We'll talk
I'm gonna
soon.
say so. Yeah, no doubt. One time.
All right.
Catch
Peace.
you. So I didn't mean to dominate the show and hog up things, but
man, come on. You don't have to apologize.
It was a visitation into the core of Strong Island essence.
Yeah.
Yo, look, it's better you come on too because you were there and you had more insight than me just asking questions like how'd you guys record Bust That Beat? Come on. Come on, man. That was great. It was great because all I had was like I found this album because I saw Jay and Davey's name on it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I gotta check this out. And then it was like, oh, this is great. So, but what's the story?
Yeah, it was the aftermath of, and actually hearing some. I mean, like when C said that they got the deal with my name and Keith's name on it as producers, that was, and C never thinking that I never knew. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, crazy.
Oh hell, I wish.
Right?
I could imagine, but then again, if Jay was superseded in that, I wouldn't, and then I didn't have the time. I'm on the road, man, and like I came back to do bomb squad work around PE, and that was enough of a thing. But no, it wasn't just around PE, but true math. I was truly like Smokey Robinson. I was like, in the Motown machine and out with the Funk Brothers, and then out there with the Miracles. Come back for the Funk Brothers, out there in the Miracles, and But yeah, man, that's seriously fine with some. Yeah, shoot, I come back from one of those tours and I found out we lose leaders to the new school, leaders of the new school to Dante. So it's like,
yeah,
right.
I was happy because this is what happened. The majors all, when he was telling me Arista, I remember that time. 3 Times Dope, and of course, K9 Posse, who's also from Roosevelt.
Right.
Because it's got Eddie's brother, Vern, who, I mean, what they had, It's Military was the B-side, and
ain't nothing to it.
Ain't nothing to it and all that. And I remember I saw one day I woke up and I was looking on TV. It was Dick Clark, American Bandstand, and K9 Posse was on it. So how could I not feel good about all these things that was happening? But then it was like, okay, I wasn't seriously fine in that mix with Arista. Now, how are they pushed down the line and what's going on with that? And but you didn't have much time to think about it because you went back up on the road again. And so all the stories start coming out. But I tell you one thing, like I said, like, what's up with them tapes?
Right.
What's up with the tapes, bro? Yeah. What's up with those tapes? Yeah.
Gotta get Davey on the show.
Yes. Yeah, we do have to get Davey on the show. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Gotta get Davey on the show. Where did I see it? Wait, I'm going back through the chat because Black Just was in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Anthony Parker, and he said they had a joint called Female Operator that didn't make the record.
Okay. Now, what operation didn't actually pass the
exactly right?
What kind of operating was going on with that song?
Yeah. What kind of operator are we talking about here? So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And like I said, like certain details I kind of remember, but got lost in the sauce. Like Woody Rock. That was very interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Because and Sirius just kind of laid it out. It's like him and Jay, like, okay, let him go there. We do there. That was honorable. But Sirius has a lot of mentoring that he's done, like he said, like to many underneath the people he talked to. Teaching them styles, breath control, all kinds of stuff. Sirius was like, he was like what you call an MC coach himself.
Wow.
Yeah. When I first heard like Run on Raising Hell, that's when I started really hearing a lot of K Fine and Run's style on Run's house. It was like, oh, okay. I mean, but that's what it's there for. It's like influence. Like the story with me, my Yo Bum Rush style, the show style comes out of Melly Mel over here, but really Schoolie D. It's like Schoolie, and when I tell Schoolie, funny when we were on tour, and I said, School, yo man, Yo Bum Rush's show in this corner with the 98, and stuff like that. And Schoolie started laughing at me, his silly ass. He said, well, I get my style from Melly Mel. So I said, Schoolie, that means I don't owe you no thank you, do you? But where else can you get hip hop talks like this?
Yeah.
There's a lot of podcasts, a lot of shows out there now, and you know, you hear the barbershop talk, and you know, in a lot of the '90s stuff. So they're getting around to it, but the alchemy and the dynamics of what this show shows is like a detailed concern to ask somebody who doesn't have a quote unquote name because they come maybe before that line or they come within that line when they were obscured by a lot of things, like talking to like I said tonight, Seriously Fine. It's like, wow, okay, wow, you're hearing some details about something that led to somebody else that led to something. This is all, you know, you could always get a big name and talk to a big name.
Sure.
And that's what's happening in hip hop podcasts around, because these big names haven't been interviewed in abundance before, or people had never been privy to their interviews, even if they were in the 90s or in the early 2000s. And so now it's all playing catch up. But the detail of hip hop and rap as an art form, yeah, I mean, the questions and answers that we have here, seriously, you know, you have to take notes and really know what's coming down the pike as being important, or it's just not going to hit you. You're going to be bored by it. You're not going to get it, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And the key is like, well, if you don't get it, you ain't going to have it. And you're going to be trying to figure out how to get it gotten. So.
Yep. So true, sir.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Well,
so we had a great And You Don't Stop radio show last week. That's the show to send around, and you know, now it's coming through the app and stuff like that. So yeah, I
you
can
can
each and every week.
Yeah, I was gonna say this part of my shout out at the end of the show. You can join this guy and this guy along. And I do a little segment. There'll be a new episode on Friday. So the And You Don't Stop radio show on Mixcloud and the Rap Station app.
I also got to learn to turn in parts early, because it's crazy what happened in Baltimore. I was over that bridge a couple months ago. It was going to be over that bridge this week.
Shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow. And probably those are the times to drive over that bridge where it's like 1 or 2 in the morning, where you got no traffic going up to 95 and the belts around it, you know, Baltimore, whatever, if you're doing an up and down trip, you know. So
Jeez.
you know if you had to say of anything that because it's a tragedy anyway you look at it, of loss of human life, is that having it happen at 1 o'clock in the night, totally different than if it was a rush hour.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that bridge, that bridge and that traffic is really a thing.
Yeah.
And the last two there, and here we were talking about infrastructure in the United States, why it's so important that states have their act together, people understanding states, funding, keeping infrastructure together. 2 times in my adult lifetime, things like that have happened. One was the bridge in Minneapolis some years ago. Fell in the Mississippi River. Remember?
Yeah.
And way back, sort of, in the 90s,
highway bridge.
The 95.
90, yeah. Oh, yeah.
In Connecticut.
Yeah.
What highway bridge you talking about? Because it's another one, right?
Yeah, the one up in I thought it was Minneapolis. Wasn't that a highway bridge?
Yeah. No, it was sort of like a highway bridge. It was a city bridge, but it still went over the Mississippi.
Yeah.
Still went over the Mississippi, and if that collapsed. And then the one on I-95 in Connecticut years ago, just like pop out, and that was in the middle of a daytime type of thing, which was crazy.
Right.
So every time I drive, and I've done a lot of driving all over the country, I sometimes look at structures and like, wow, to keep up everything. That's why you want to salute everybody in their job, man, because they're doing their job to try to not have catastrophes be a everyday thing.
Yeah. Yep. So true. So, yep. Also, It's C-Doc again is brought to you by, I don't know if you have it ready there, Flatline. Okay. Hackensack Brewing Company with the Auga. Awesome too.
Yep.
There it is. Yep.
Get it.
Yep. Hackensack Brewing. Shout out to them. And it's also brought to you by the Spit Slam Record Label Group.
The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we already talked about the show Friday. Also, catch Ultramag. Shout out to Ultramag 7 who couldn't make it tonight, and Jennifer Jenny along with DJ Soulbuck Sunday 8 p.m. right here on Channel 0 for the mixtape where they'll be playing the music of our upcoming guests. And next week we're going to be joined by Jarv. So I've got to do my homework because I don't know his music, but Ultramag highly recommend. So we'll be checking out the music of Jarv.
Also, Flatline, I want to also be able to, with Flatline, to say that we're also bestowed with the unbelievable, legendary talents of the Awesome 2 on Rap Station. On Friday on what night is again, Flatline? Their main night?
It actually premieres every Tuesday. Right before my show. Repeats on Friday before your show.
Right.
7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. But yeah, man, they talk about an inspiration. They are incredible.
Man, legends, man.
Yeah,
as
awesome
you are
too.
yourself, Flatline.
Hell yeah.
Okay, C-Doc, fade to black. Roll the credit. Go.
Well, shout out to Jennifer Jenny, who also had technical difficulties.
Yep.
Shout out to everybody watching live, everybody watching it on the replay. If you dig the show, please like and subscribe. Subscribe to Channel 0. Always trying to bring you dope content. And we will check everybody else next week on another episode of It's C-Doc again. Thank you, Mr. Chuck. Thank you, Flatline.
Thank you.
And, yep. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.